Hello, my name's Steve and welcome to the Seaside Allotment channel. And yeah, I'm going to do a quick tour now around my plot. And just the background really is that most of it's transitioning now over to the winter crops. That's going reasonably well, although I had a bit of a problem with growth rates on in the seed compost. It's just been appalling. I don't really know what's happened. But I'm doing a trial, switch some things into the ground to see how they perform in the ground rather than in the module trays. But yeah, just for some strange reason we've seen almost no growth at all for 2 or 3 weeks. Anyway, I'll show you around. So I'll start with a quick look around the polytunnel, and quite pleased with these late cucumbers. Quite a lot of flowers and plenty of cucumbers on them. Whether they'll have time to mature or not, I don't know, but I wanted to move the cucumbers out of these raised beds into the corners so that I've got space to replant these beds fairly soon. So I've also got some late runner beans, and they're doing really nicely. I'm very pleased with those. So I'm getting a really nice harvest on these. The ones outside now are not doing so good. We've had some quite cold nights, and yeah, they're not looking good. But these in here are absolutely thriving. So again, I'm hopeful that just keeping them in this little tub here, they're going to do okay. Tomatoes are still doing splendidly. I've just got stacks of tomatoes. I think Debbie said she's made 70, maybe 80 kilos now of passata, so well, that's the ingredients. Yeah, not that much once it's been made, but yeah, plenty of green tomatoes as well. So one of my friends just said, oh, I need you to make some green tomato chutney, so we may well have some. Moved all the potatoes in here, and God, they're going absolutely crazy. We did have some blight warnings, so I thought, well, I'll move these Christmas potatoes in. But they're just mad. I've also moved all of the peppers inside as well. They were all outside, but I think now it's cooling down a bit. They'll be okay in here. I was getting some problems with them, just not looking very healthy. I moved them outside, they looked great. We've had loads of peppers off them now. But yeah, I think they stand a better chance of ripening up in here than they did outside. Now it's cooling off. Cucumbers are going absolutely crazy. I have so many. We picked 4 yesterday, I think, and everywhere I look there's cucumbers coming. They're just crazy. They're everywhere. Down there, there's 2 down there, 1 here, another one over here. We've got muster about 20 on at the moment in various stages of growth, and lots of flowers as well. But as I said, they're in the centre there, and I want to clear this bed well, probably mid to late September to get it replanted. I've also bought this tub of New Zealand spinach in that's been outside for a long time, cut it back, and I'm hoping that that will regrow nicely. The Malabar spinach, sort of, maybe I didn't plant that early enough because it looks like it's struggling now with the nighttime temperatures. I've really enjoyed it while I've had it, and I'll definitely be planting it earlier on in the season. What else have we got? Oh, the sweet corn. I only planted this a few weeks ago, and it's really rocketing. Well, we'll see how that does, whether it actually have time to ripen or not. I suspect not, but it's worth an experiment. More cucumbers here, and these are in the pots. And the beefsteaks, we've just started getting these beefsteaks now. I think we've had only 3 of them, but taste I don't think has been fantastic, and I don't know what that's caused by. Maybe it's too much watering, maybe it's just that they're under polythene rather than glass. Anyway, it doesn't really matter because they've just gone into passata. What else have we got? So we've got celery. This is doing nicely down here. We've got some French beans. All of our French beans have basically had it outside now. but these are still doing really nicely. Baby carrots, nothing much there, not ready to harvest yet, but I'm hoping in a couple of weeks that they'll be ready for putting in the salad mixes. More celery there. All this celery is just for winter. I've got some purslane in here, golden purslane. Again, the stuff outside, it's not looking very good now. This bed is only new, so it's looking very sparse, but these little clumps are starting to develop quite nicely, and they're interplanted with spring onions. And I've got more carrots here, and more peppers down there, and a courgette as well. And I've got some more cucumbers which I put in pots just to see what happens, sorry, hanging baskets to see what happens. Just some spare plants that I had. And then this is my second succession of Christmas potatoes, and they're just popping up now. And I've got my last succession of tomatoes, and they're doing pretty well actually. I've got quite a few tomatoes on these, so I am hoping that these tomatoes will carry on once I've taken these tomatoes out and replanted these beds. So hopefully I'll still have tomatoes. And that is pretty much it, I think, for the polytunnel. I've just emptied these two water butts. I'm going to give those a clean next week. This one's full, and then when I've refilled those, I'll be storing that water then for winter. Got some more peppers here. So now most of these beds are transitioning over, so I'll just quickly skim through them, show you what we've got. So we've got spinach in here, last few lettuces there. These are the lettuce beds we're currently eating, but these will all be stripped of course and replanted fairly soon. Onions here, beetroots here. If you've seen one of my earlier ones about beetroots with rust, these were completely cut back, the foliage of these, you know, so there was no foliage at all, and you can see how beautifully they've regrown. Really nice. So it definitely saved those plants, and this foliage now is really gorgeous, and we're eating this as well as an alternative to chard. Another salad bed just planted. This is another salad bed that we're currently eating from. These are the sweet potatoes. One little bed of leeks. Most of the leeks are on Jennie's plot. Carrots that we're eating at the moment. Some more spring onions. They did have onion root fly maggots, and they started in this corner, but I watered them with a nematode, and that seems to have saved them, so that's good. Beetroots. Another salad bed I've just planted, beetroot. These are tomatoes that we're using for cooking. This worked really well actually, just popping them in this little tunnel. Not a lot of use these tunnels in the height of summer, but I just put 8 little tomato plants in that had going spare, and yeah, they've just gone crazy, and they've given us huge quantities of tomatoes, mostly for cooking, as I said. More salads that I've just planted, some radicchio there. More salads that I've just planted. More salads I've just planted, interplanted with radish. More salads I've just planted. Still leaving this. This is the New Zealand Spinach Bed, which just goes crazy. Unfortunately, we just, you know, we've got way too much. We are going to start freezing some soon, maybe next week. We'll cut all the extras off from the outside of this bed. Black carrots, bed that's prepared, waiting for seedlings. Carrot bed that we're currently eating from, and you can see the purslane. Yeah, it's not looking great. I mean, we're still getting plenty off it, but I can't see it lasting that much longer out here. I could conceivably just replant it in the polytunnel But anyway, I'll leave it for this year and see what happens. But it is still giving us something. I'm going to take this beam frame down soon. It's going to be a strawberry bed, but the strawberries are coming in October, so there's no particular rush to do it, so probably a couple of weeks. This is my bits and pieces brassica bed, so basically whenever I've got spare brassica plants, I've just popped them in here, and there's a bit of everything in here. There's some sprouts, there's some calabrese, some red cabbage, some kale. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I think, but we'll see. I'm not going to bother protecting it because I said it's just the little odds and sods that are left over. So over there we've got some more spring onions, radicchio, chicory, and the main shard bed that will go under cover in about October time. So that, I think, is pretty much it on my plot. I'll just quickly show you inside my little greenhouse. So what have we got in here? We've got some chicory. So these are spares. Most of these things have been planted out, and I just keep, I always keep a few spares just in case. So I've got some chicory here, got some radicchio here, got some black seeded Simpson lettuces here, various other lettuces that again I've just got spares of, some more of my little tomato plants, Romanesco cauliflowers, again some spare lettuces, more spare lettuces, more cauliflowers, red cabbages. I'm just going to let these grow on a bit before I plant them out. Some spinach, more lettuces, more tomato plants. These are in smaller pots than the one in the greenhouse, because these are going to come home with me and they're going to go in the conservatory, and that will happen probably quite soon. And then some more various different types here of cabbages and kale. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then there's some more cabbages and kale there. And as you can see, I've brought some more of my red peppers in here just to get them ripened. This is most of the seedlings. We've got about 5 trays still at home, but I'll probably bring them here soon, because the quality of the light is better in this little greenhouse. And I forgot, I've got a few more beds over here which I didn't show you. Actually, I've got some cucumber here. This is Ladiva, and it is gorgeous. It's so crunchy. Yeah, so I'm really enjoying that. So down here I've got all of my strawberry runners all potted up, and down here I've got cabbages, and on the outsides of those I've got spring onions. So cabbages all the way down here, and then sprouts here, and then here I've got winter carrots, golden beets, and red beets. These red beets are getting a bit too much shade because there's a big tree here which shades them. There's also the fence which shades them, and also these raspberries which shade them. So probably not the best location ever. And I got my little kind of outside bed here, which is really for flowers, but it's kind of got overtaken slightly by the rocket. So I'll be clearing that soon, getting that replanted. And this is Ladiva as well, and they get a bit bigger than that, maybe twice the size as that. But as you can see, it's not looking very healthy. Again, cold nights And then compost wise, this is my hot bin. It's about 50 degrees at the moment, this one. This is the one I'm currently drawing from. Those two are full. And I'm also drawing from this one, but I've just topped it up. So basically what I'm doing, I'm taking all of my green waste from the allotment, chopping it up and putting it in layers in these bins and just topping them up. So these will soon be full again of a mix of compost and green waste. And there's the lids that go on the coal frames later on in the year. And so that's about it. So I'll do another tour maybe next week when I'll do Jennie's plot and Debbie's plot and show you what's going on there, because obviously I'm only growing a small subset of stuff on my plot, but it's going alright. Okay, that's it for today. So I'll just pop a little harvest video on the end of this, and then I'll see you soon, maybe next week. Bye. Well, it's harvest night tonight, Thursday for Friday deliveries, and it's getting dark now, so I've had to get the torch out. I'll just show you the quick harvest. So you can see my torch, which I hang there from one of the crop bars, and it just illuminates the polytunnel really nicely. So we've got loads of salads down the front here. I just love these salad mixes, they're so luscious. And then we've got some beans and celery and peppers, and we've got these little mixes of herbs and kale, a few carrots, baby carrots, those for the salad mixes, and then spinach, chard, and then potatoes, beets and carrots, a few pears and apples, some peppers, tomatoes, more tomatoes for the salad mixes, and courgettes and cucumbers, and some plums that Debbie's just picked. So there we go. Tonight's little harvest. It's looking good.